Well, today is Mother's Day 2K17. Which just so happens to be one of the nicest days we've had up here in Wisconsin in a very long time. The harsh, dumb winter's over and all this stupid pouring rain is hopefully done for a little bit. I know it's supposed to rain a little bit this upcoming week, which I'm not looking forward to because my car needs new tires extremely bad. So I planned on taking the bike to work almost every day, but I think that's going to put a little bit of a damper on it. So, I don't know if many of, I guess, the people who would view this video necessarily know about, there's this run, what would it be, a week ago today? I believe it was called the Crud Run. It goes from, fuck knows where it starts, but it's way out that way. And then it goes to this little town named Leland, which is way out over there. And I decided, or it wasn't necessarily me, it was my friend who decided that we should go for an all-day bike ride, and it just so happened to be on the same day. I totally spaced on it being the Crud Run. So, I mean, I saw bikes with plates from many different states that were up and in the Crud Run, which I thought was pretty cool for like the diversity of locations that people actually came from to go to that Crud Run. I didn't know it was necessarily that big, but there were hundreds and hundreds of bikes, like not exaggerating, there were hundreds of bikes that were out. It came to a pretty abrupt end when it came to my buddy. He actually laid down his bike, which I'll put a picture up right now so you guys can see what it ends up looking like. I mean, it's not totaled, I could say. I mean, his handlebar is snapped, his tank is all dented, his subframe, fucking, that thing's just muffed. And I think we managed to bend his shift lever back out, but it needs a new windscreen, pretty much all new fairings. I mean, only one fairing pretty much survived that thing in an okay shape, and he wanted to make his bike white sooner or later anyways, so I don't necessarily think it mattered too much about the fairings. He wanted them anyway, so I think it's more of an excuse now to get the new fairings. It still sucks because he's got to replace an assload of other parts, which he's already ordered a bunch. His reservoir right here actually snapped off, which that was pretty weird because there was almost no damage on this side of the bike. It was more on this side, and he actually had some frame sliders on, which ended up eating a lot of the crash. I might actually go out there and look and see if there's still some damage out on the road, because he went around a corner, which he must have just went at a different angle than I did or something, and he found gravel, because I was way out in front of him and I was moving pretty good, and he was behind me and just kind of taking his time because it's his first year on a 600, so he's not necessarily like knee dragging around corners and stuff. He has his fun, but he wasn't fucking cruising around this corner, and he just found gravel, and what he said is he just kind of tried to stand the bike back up a little bit and ended up going down into this guy's yard, and there was like a pretty decent curve to the ditch, so he must have got down in there and it just kicked the bike out from under him. The bike slid, and then he was just sliding in the yard. He ended up sliding all the way up and across the guy's driveway, but I mean, if it wasn't for his gear, he would definitely be pretty messed up. I'll see if I can get some pictures of the gear too. I mean, he really didn't hit his head. It was more or less like the back of his jacket. But I mean, even then, if he wasn't wearing that gear, it would have messed his back up pretty bad. And what sucks for him is he actually already had a herniated disc to begin with. So that probably didn't help the situation at all. I don't even know if I need gas. So I guess let that be a lesson about wearing your gear all the time, because if he wouldn't have been wearing his gear, he wouldn't have a whole lot of skin left on his back. I can say that much, because it ate a lot of the leather that was on his back. There's a gas cap on the ground right there. It's been so long. This guy just pointing at me. Either he likes the bike or he saw a camera. People tend to get weird about that kind of shit.
Here we go.